SUV-sized UFOs, dozens of reports, seen near military bases, armories. What could they be, and how is this so hard to figure out?
While the UFOs have been watching us in plain sight, weren't just waiting or planning, but also settling down. Stick around to get to see hidden secret UFO bases that were discovered on camera. Antarctic portal. Here's one to really get you thinking. A military cargo plane flying over Antarctica when they spotted something that'll give you chills. Down below, over a mountain peak, they noticed this dark, shadowy shape. At first, they think it was a volcano, but come on, it's Antarctica. Active volcanoes aren't exactly the norm there. As they get closer, things get even weirder. They spotted a flying saucer just hovering over the peak, and when they look deeper into the shadowy darkness below, it's like a whole scene from another world. There were more ships moving in and out, almost like this was a portal to another galaxy. If this is where UFOs go, it makes sense. Kinda genius, right? Or terrifying. Maybe both. Alaskan UFO. Somewhere deep in the frozen wilderness of Alaska, an old trail camera captured something that still has people talking. This rare footage, recorded back in the 1980s, showed the dark, eerie object gliding slowly across the sky. Its shape unmistakably resembled the classic UFO. While some skeptics immediately dismissed it as an edit, they failed to account for the fact that digital editing was practically non-existent back then. Experts have even weighed in, suggesting that this could be one of the most authentic UFO sightings ever recorded. So, what do you think? Could this be a genuine encounter from decades ago, leaving an unsolved mystery still there in the cold Alaskan air? Mountain mystery. If aliens were to touch down, mountains make total sense. They're remote and quiet, and let's be honest, who's gonna stumble across them besides a hiker or two? Well, that's exactly what happened. This hiker was trekking along, enjoying nature, when he caught something on camera. A weirdly shaped object slowly descending from the sky. Not crashing, but like purposefully gliding. It disappeared behind the trees, and everyone was losing it, thinking it might have landed. A spaceship or a base. Honestly, if I were an alien, I'd pick a hidden mountain spot too. Super low-key. Someone needs to check that area out. Like, send a drone or something. If it was a base, that's one mystery waiting to blow wide open. Border encounter. Alright, so get this. A hiker in South Korea, out for a casual trek near the North Korean border in 2024, ends up witnessing something straight out of a sci-fi movie. As he neared the summit, he spotted this strange saucer-like object hovering just below the clouds. Naturally, he whipped out his camera to record the scene. The thing was slowly descending into the valley, almost as if it had a destination in mind. When the footage hit the internet, theories exploded. Some were convinced it was a secret alien base hiding in those remote plains. Others, they pinned it on North Korea, claiming it might be some high-tech project. Either way, it's got people buzzing. Skyward shadow.
Las que lo están viendo, o sea, sí está el objeto ahí suspendido.
In Portugal, back in 2020, two guys were stepping out of a grocery store when suddenly something blocked out the sun. They probably thought it was just a big cloud, but when they glanced up, they froze. Hovering there was unmistakably massive and saucer-shaped, a dark object hanging in the sky. Of course, they did what any of us would do, grab their phones and hit record. The outline was too perfect, too deliberate to be a cloud or a weather balloon. Skeptics dismissed it as they always do, but for those two men and anyone watching, this felt like something or someone was watching back, hidden but not invisible.
O sea, sí está el objeto ahí suspendido.
Midnight mystery. In the early 2000s, quiet midnight, and suddenly, the stillness was shattered by a bizarre screeching sound from above. Naturally, a curious local grabbed his camera and started recording. What they caught was nothing short of wild, a triangular-shaped craft with glowing red lights hovering silently over the area, and then, as mysteriously as it appeared, it vanished into the sky. When the footage went public, the internet exploded with theories. Some were sure it was a classic UFO encounter, while others threw in the idea of the TR-3B, the rumored top-secret reverse-engineered craft from the US. Thunderous rings. On a regular day, locals were going about their business when suddenly someone spotted something weird through their camera. It was a spacecraft. Well, at least that's what it looked like. But this wasn't your average flying saucer. Yes, sure. Oh no, this thing had spinning rings around it, moving so smoothly and quietly it gave chills. And then, just when you think you're wrapping your head around it, the UFO switched direction, zipping straight into this crazy bright light, and it was gone. The air felt all strange, like static electricity, and the camera even went fuzzy for a second. When it cleared, the sky was empty. No ship, no rings, no answers, just a whole lot of questions. Ascending mystery. A guy was out in the woods minding his business when he spotted something massive with flickering lights slowly rising into the sky, and he was smart enough to hit records while staying hidden behind some trees. And let me tell you, the footage is wild. The object's shape was definitely not a plane, and it was way too big and steady to be a drone. It had this strange otherworldly vibe like it didn't belong. And here's the kicker, the way those lights moved through the branches. It looked too smooth and too natural to be a CGI trick. Sure, skeptics might roll their eyes. Roadside encounter. Driving home at sunset and seeing a long fuzzy object glowing a warm orange, gliding effortlessly alongside your car. Sounds pretty weird, right? But that's exactly what happened to one lucky or maybe unlucky driver. The thing was keeping pace, almost like it was checking him out. Naturally, he whipped out his phone and started recording. What he captured was surreal. This glowing object wasn't flying like anything man-made. No sound, no jerky moves, just smooth, gravity-defying flight. For a moment, it felt like the universe peeled back a layer, showing us something we weren't supposed to see. A portal to another world, maybe? Whatever it was, it's not something you forget. Silent encounter. Back in 2002, near some military installations in Nevada, a flying saucer appeared. It flew low, completely silent, and hovered over the base before shooting straight into the sky. When the footage hit the internet, people went nuts. Was this an alien craft making a pit stop? Skeptics tried to dismiss it as a drone, but here's the kicker. Drones weren't even a thing back then. So what does that leave us with? Something not from this world, maybe? If you ask me, the evidence speaks for itself. Milan mystery. Back in 2019, a lucky or unlucky tourist while sightseeing in Milan suddenly spotted a metallic black saucer in the sky. I mean, what are their odds? Forget postcards, this is the kind of story you tell for life. The footage showed this shiny UFO just hanging out in broad daylight, no shame. Naturally, the internet lit up, with some folks asking if the authorities were even alerted. But nope, no headlines, no official word, just silence. And you know how people get when the government's quiet. Conspiracy theories popped up faster than espresso shots, with locals claiming it was all a cover-up. Skeptics called it some AI magic. But come on, wouldn't a hoax have been debunked by now? Pyramid mystery. Alright, let's talk about this mind blower from 2020. The crew aboard the International Space Station spotted something just chilling outside. A pyramid-shaped object, no less. For 22 whole minutes it hovered there, not moving like some random satellite or piece of space junk. Nah, this thing had a purpose. At first it was just hanging out, moving slowly, but then, out of nowhere, it shot upward at a crazy speed and disappeared. Like, what even does that? Naturally, when this footage hit the internet, people freaked freaked. Some thought it was just a funky looking satellite, but no space agency came forward to claim it. And let's be real, space junk doesn't just casually defy gravity, but it felt controlled, like someone or something was at the wheel. Spinning chaos. Picture a high-tech frisbee being hurled across the sky at insane speed. That's what this UFO looked like when the footage hit the internet. The way it zipped around, pulling off maneuvers that should be flat out impossible. It's got everyone talking. Some folks think it was malfunctioning, while others were convinced the aliens were testing some next-level tech. Either way, that thing was moving like it was on a mission, or maybe just out of control. Even skeptics are scratching their heads, calling this footage hard to dismiss. Honestly though, all I could think was, what about the poor aliens inside? I mean, if we're dizzy just watching, imagine what they're going through. That's one bumpy ride I wouldn't want to be on. Michoacan UFO. A man was driving home after work and witnessed something incredible. A UFO gliding through the sky like it had somewhere important to be. Instead of driving off in disbelief, this guy did what we'd all probably dream of doing. He chased it down, recording every second. The footage showed the object descending slowly, almost like it too was heading home. It finally disappeared behind the trees. Naturally, theories exploded online. Many were convinced it was headed for a secret base tucked away in the forests, hidden from the world. What do you think? Sky Diamond. Alright, let's talk about September 9th, 2018, when Slovakia's skies gave everyone a wild show. At first, people thought they were just seeing a bright star, no big deal. But then, this diamond-shaped object decided to prove it was anything but a star. It started moving, first casually, then in a circular pattern that made it clear this wasn't your typical night sky moment. And just like that, it slowly drifted out of sight behind some homes. Maybe the aliens had somewhere else to be, or their intergalactic dinner bell rang. Whatever it was, it left people amazed and wondering, was that really a UFO or just the universe showing off? Yo-Yo UFO. A yo-yo-shaped object drifted across the sky and people just froze. The thing looked nothing like anything familiar, with its smooth, rounded design that seemed almost otherworldly. It hovered there, gliding through the air with this eerie grace, like it had all the time in the world. Of course, the crowd was a mix of terrified and fascinated, trying to get a better look, but no one could really make out any solid details. Was it just some crazy drone, flown by a group of thrill seekers having fun? Or wait for it, was this actually a true alien encounter? UFO enthusiasts didn't think twice. They were convinced this wasn't just a random sighting. Honestly, after seeing that, who knows? Sky Showdown. Miami's skies lit up with the most unexpected game of tag. Just look at this one. A jet fighter was speeding along when, out of nowhere, this weird oval-shaped object showed up. And it wasn't just hovering, it was chasing the jet like it had a score to settle. A local caught it on camera, and the sounds alone were enough to send chills. But here's the kicker, the video cut off right when it got good. No jet, no UFO, no answers. Just gone. It's like they vanished into thin air. What do you think happened up there? Tic Tac mystery.
What in the hell is that?
Back in August 2021, a vlogger in sunny Los Angeles caught something bizarre on camera. Against the clear blue sky, she spotted a small, white, cylinder-shaped object. Naturally, she recorded it, and that footage blew up online, eventually landing in the hands of the Mutual UFO Network. People immediately started speculating. Could this really be more evidence of those mysterious Tic Tac crafts? And seriously, are aliens tiny enough to fit inside those things? If they are, I hope they don't stay camera shy forever. Imagine meeting them face to face. What a story that'd be.
What in the hell is that?
Traffic surprise. Being stuck in traffic, zoning out, when suddenly, bam! A diamond-shaped UFO starts gliding across the sky. Sounds wild, right? That's exactly what happened to a driver in Parana, Brazil on July 7th, 2024. This thing wasn't your average aircraft. It cruised around like it owned the evening sky. Was it curious about Earth's slow-moving cars? Maybe, but apparently rush hour wasn't its vibe. After hanging around for a bit, the UFO zipped off, probably disappointed we couldn't keep up. Who knew traffic jams could get this interesting? Red Diamond.
Oh my god! What the f—
One calm evening in Belgrade, when the city lights were sparkling and the night felt calm until it didn't. Out of nowhere, this diamond-shaped object appeared in the sky, and it wasn't just sitting there, it was glowing, shifting colors like a cosmic disco ball. The way it moved was unreal. It would zip around at lightning speed, stop like it hit an invisible wall, then dart off again. Even the usual skeptics were left speechless. I mean, how do you explain something that flew like it was breaking every rule of physics? Eventually, the glowing diamond faded into the clouds, leaving everyone staring up. Honestly, it felt like a setup, except this one was real.
Oh my god!
Orb encounter.
UFO.
Okay, this one's straight out of a sci-fi movie. A glowing orb was hovering above a quiet neighborhood, bright and pulsating like it was alive. But it got weirder. Suddenly 5 smaller orbs popped out of it, no joke. These little guys lined up below the bigger orb in a perfect straight line, like they were on a mission or something. 4 of them took off, disappearing into the night, but the last one, it merged back with the big orb, and then it was gone. Theories online were wild. Some said these were alien probes, scouting the area, watching us. Of course, skeptics were out here yelling hoax, like always. But honestly, if this was a hoax, whoever made it deserves an award.
UFO.
Dual saucers. A man was on his way to work, probably half asleep when he glanced up, and there they were. Not 1, but 2 UFOs just chilling in the sky like they owned the place. They looked exactly like the classic saucers you've seen in every sci-fi movie ever. Now, naturally, people went nuts over the footage. Some were convinced this was it, the undeniable proof we've all been waiting for, but others, not so much. They pointed out that the crafts weren't moving, which, yeah, is a little sus. Could they be a hoax? Sure, but could they be real and just observing? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's a head turner for sure. Sky spinner. Alright, let's dive into this one because it's seriously trippy. A leaked clip, allegedly from the Spanish military, has been making waves online, and for good reason. In the video, there's this strange metallic object just spinning in the sky like it owns the place. But here's where it gets crazy. It's not just spinning, it's glowing like it's powered by something straight out of a sci-fi flick. Some are saying it's anti-gravity tech, like next level alien stuff we can't even begin to understand. Others think it's a natural phenomenon or maybe just a weird reflection, but honestly, it doesn't look like anything we'd slap a Made in Earth sticker on. Whatever it is, it's got people buzzing. Portal phenomenon. It was nighttime at the US-Mexico border, and the skies suddenly lit up with a weird blue glow. Everyone's eyes were glued to this massive spacecraft, flashing its blue lights like it owned the place. But here's where it gets nuts. A glowing box of pure light just materializes above the ship. I mean, straight out of a sci-fi movie. It looked like a doorway to who knows where. Before anyone could process what was happening, the craft slowly floated into the rectangle of light. Then, in a blinding flash, boom! It was gone. Just like that. No trace. No answers. Was it some intergalactic tech or just a crazy optical illusion? Your guess is as good as mine. Area 51 secrets. Till the 50s, there was this wild belief that Americans made contact with aliens. And honestly, after seeing this footage, it's hard not to wonder if it's true. Supposedly leaked from Area 51, the clips showed a UFO hovering over Nevada's deserted lands, with soldiers just standing there, observing like it's no big deal. But wait, it gets crazier. Another clip showed a scientist examining what looked like a lifeless alien body. People immediately linked this to the infamous Roswell incident, speculating that these were the secret recordings we were were never meant to see. And the cherry on top, theories about reverse-engineered alien tech, saying it explains some of our major tech leaps. Coincidence, or are we not getting the whole story? Tulip UFO. Buckle up, because this one is straight out of a sci-fi movie. Recently, footage surfaced of a tulip-shaped object glowing softly with bright lights on top, floating calmly in the sky. It moved with such quiet elegance, almost serene. But then, something small drops from it. What was that? A signal? A probe? The onlookers didn't have much time to process what just happened before the glowing craft zipped away, disappearing without a trace. And just like that, it was gone, leaving behind nothing but a haunting mystery. When the big question that still lingers, what in the world was its purpose here? We may never know, but doesn't that make it even creepier? Cincinnati UFO. It was just another typical night in Cincinnati until the sky decided to put on a show. A massive round ship appeared, its bottom glowing with these eerie white and yellow lights hovering with an unsettling stillness. It was like something straight out of a science fiction movie. Locals who saw it were left speechless, eyes wide in disbelief. Was it silently observing us? Rumors began to swirl. Some people wondered if it was a vessel from another world, possibly scouting for abductees. Others thought maybe it was just passing by, taking notes on our planet. No matter how you look at it, this strange sight left its mark, raising even more questions than answers. NASA UFO footage. For those still skeptical about UFOs, here's a piece of footage that might make you think twice. Following a recent cyber attack on NASA in 2024, a secretive clip surfaced, dating all the way back to 1998. The footage, captured by a MIR camera on a space shuttle, was supposed to record a routine rocket separation, but instead it caught something far stranger. A pyramid-like structure drifting near the shuttle, almost as if it was observing the spacecraft. As the clip made its rounds, many were quick to label it as an alien probe. Of course, authorities jumped in, claiming it was just a rocket part, but experts weren't buying it. No rocket parts from the 90s were ever designed like a pyramid, so could it be? Pentagon lights.
The Oscars recently, as in last night, came out with new rules.
Okay, this one's a wild ride. In November 2024, a guy near the Pentagon was heading home when something caught his eye. Bright lights moving upward, so he grabbed his phone and zooms in. When the video hit the internet, people lost their minds. Some were calling it angels, but come on, angels over the Pentagon? That's a stretch, right? Whatever it wasn't your average day sky. Makes you wonder what's really up there and why it's always near places like that. Coincidence? Maybe not.
The Oscars recently, as in last night, came out with new rules.
Wingless Wonder. Back in 2018, on a normal day for locals went out of nowhere, a jet showed up, but it didn't have wings. Like, how did that even work? It wasn't noisy either, just gliding through the air like it owned the place. Now, maybe it was some next-gen military tech they forgot to tell us about, or maybe it was something way more out there. It floated for a while, almost like it was admiring the view. If this was an alien's pit stop to check out our sunsets, I gotta say, they've got great taste. What do you think, human creation or cosmic visitor? Turkish encounter. Alright, get this. Someone in Turkey looked up one day and spotted a black disc-shaped object just chilling in the sky. At first, they probably thought, just a shadow. But then it started moving, like for real. For a moment, it hovered, almost like it was deciding whether to stick around or head back to the stars. Turkey's no stranger to UFO sightings, so could this be another alien flyby? Honestly, next time you're there, keep your eyes on the sky. You might just get lucky. Mountain mystery. Imagine staring out at the Rocky Mountains, enjoying the view when, boom, you spot something totally out of this world. That's what happened to a man 2 years ago in February. Hovering just above Mexican territory, this mysterious object looked like it was frozen in midair, barely moving. Mexico's already a hotspot for UFO stories, right? So naturally, he thought it was an alien craft. It lingered for a while, almost like it wanted to be seen, and then vanished without a trace. Coincidence or proof? You tell me. Orbital mystery. This one might just be the smoking gun for alien believers. Leaked NASA footage surfaced recently, and it's got everyone buzzing. The International Space Station ISS cameras captured an object floating near its edge. At first, it moved slowly, gliding in a straight line, almost as if casually scoping things out. Then it paused before suddenly speeding up and disappearing out of frame. Now, some folks online jumped to the space junk explanation, but here's the thing. Experts shot that theory down. Space junk doesn't behave like that. The movement was intelligent. Maybe it was a recon mission gathering intel on us Earthlings. What's your take? Flying Enigma. Alright, let's unpack this one because it's seriously mind-blowing. Back in February 2024, a woman in Miami, Florida caught something on her Ring camera that looked straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster. A humanoid figure flew by wearing what appeared to be some kind of iron suit, but when the footage was slowed down, it got even weirder. This thing had a big unmasked head and locked eyes with the camera, almost like it knew it was being watched. Naturally, the internet went wild. Theories ranged from a next-gen drone to some kind of experimental tech. But who's building drones shaped like that? And why would it have a humanoid pilot? I'm not saying it's aliens, but it sure didn't have human vibes in it. Alien teleportation. This one's wild. A month ago in November 2024 at 3 a.m. in Florida, everything was pretty normal, and then bam, play the part. A massive thunderclap and a flash of light lit up the sky, and something came crashing down. This was caught on CCTV. What's even creepier, right before it happened, there was this strange humming sound, like something out of this world. Sure, skeptics were quick to say it was just a lightning strike, but what about the power outage in the area? And that sound, play that humming sound, lightning doesn't hum like that. Believers were convinced it was proof of alien teleportation tech. I mean, if they're visiting, why not skip the flying saucers and just beam in? What's your take? Boomerang mystery. Alright, this one is wild. Back in 2009, over Benalmádena, Spain, a wildlife camera captured something straight out of a sci-fi flick. It was a UFO shaped like a giant boomerang. I mean, that alone was strange enough, right? But wait, there's more. Edge detection tech showed the object was hovering in place, almost like it was defying gravity itself. It wasn't just floating, it felt like it was locked in some invisible tug of war with Earth's pull. Now, was this some super advanced propulsion test? Or maybe an experimental drone acting up, who knows? But seriously, a boomerang-shaped UFO, that's not the kind of thing you forget anytime soon. Moonbase mystery. Okay, let's talk about this bombshell from 2024. Some footage from NASA's archives surfaced online, and let me tell you, it shook the internet. It's tied to one of the Apollo moon missions, where everything seemed totally routine until it wasn't. The rover NASA sent to explore the moon started glitching out, and for a brief moment, its camera captured something truly jaw-dropping. There, on the moon's surface, was an object that looked eerily like a UFO. The clip was for just a few seconds, but it was enough to get everyone buzzing. People started throwing out theories left and right, with the most chilling being that it's a secret alien base. And honestly, after seeing that footage, I'm not sure there's any other explanation. Open discussion. Now it's time for today's open discussion. Imagine chilling on a beach and suddenly discovering a secret alien base. Like, what are the chances? But that actually happened to this guy. While filming a remote beach, he noticed something moving behind the rocks. So he zoomed in and caught a glimpse of several UFOs popping up and shooting straight into the sky. With so many saucers coming out, folks online started guessing there's gotta be some secret base hidden back there. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.